All right, so for this tutorial, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be making my simple daisy square, perfect for blankets. I use them a lot for bags. They're just super cute and beautiful in any color. Let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna start with is a magic circle by draping the yarn over our hands, wrap it around the top two fingers to make an X, thumbs down on the X. Come up to the top here, you're gonna insert your hook under the first line, grab the second and pull it through. Turn everything to face you here. I just grab everything right at the hook, just like that. Go ahead and grab back into the circle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and chain 2 to start. That's gonna count as my first half double crochet. Then I'm going to put 11 more half double crochet into the circle. So in order to do that, I'm going to yarn over, go into the circle, same as if you're working into the chain, but you're going into the circle, pull up a loop. I'll have 3 loops on my hook, so I'll yarn over and pull through all 3. And that'll be a half double. We are counting that first chain 2 as our first half double. So now we have 2. I'll do 10 more. Yarn over, into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. We now have 3 half double. So I'll go ahead and quickly finish the rest. All right, so now that I have 12 half double crochets in the circle, I'm gonna go ahead and take the short piece of the yarn here, pull it tight, and that's gonna pull your magic ring closed. Sometimes you have to pull it a little tighter than you think you do, just to get that all the way closed up there. And then I'm gonna slip stitch into that first stitch we made right here. So to do that, I'll go into the stitch, pull a loop through, and then that loop right there, I'm gonna pull directly through the loop that's already on my hook and tighten that up a little bit. And that's the first part of our daisy square. So I'll go ahead and chain 1 just to fasten off that round and cut the rest of my yarn, pull up and out, and there is our first round. All right, and now we can move on to our second round, which will be the petals. Now for the petals and adding the new color, we're gonna do treble crochets. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert my hook into any of the half doubles. So I'll start with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and weave in my ends as I go. So I'll just put that on my hook as well. I'm just gonna drape my new color right on the hook and pull it directly through that stitch, okay? So I'm just pulling it right through, and then I'm gonna chain up 5, which is gonna be 4 chains for our first treble, and then plus an extra chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a treble, and I'm gonna chain 1 more. So then I'm gonna do another treble in the same spot. So I'll yarn over twice, go into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So what we have here is a treble V-stitch. We basically made a treble, put a chain 1 in between, and then did another treble all in the same spot. So we're gonna go ahead and do that in every half double around. So again, I'll yarn over twice. Now I'm gonna go into the next half double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'm gonna do my chain 1, and then again, another treble right in the same stitch, just like so. And then I'm gonna do that all the way around as well. So in the next half double crochet, I'll do a treble, chain 1, treble, and so on and so forth, and I'll meet you back when we've got them all the way around. All right, so joining us back, we do have 24 trebles. So that was 2 in every stitch plus a chain 1 in between them. I did not chain again in between the V stitches here. We just did treble, chain 1, treble in each stitch. Then went right into the treble, chain 1, treble of the next one. So I have all of them here. I'm just gonna slip stitch to the top of my chain 4, making sure not to go into this one because that's the chain that makes it a V stitch for this pair. So I'll just do a slip stitch in the top of that one by putting my hook through, pulling the loop through, and pulling it directly through the loop on my hook. And then we can go ahead and chain 1 and cut our working yarn because we are done with the petal round. And now we can move on to our background color. So next we're going to go ahead and add our color to our daisy square. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and join my new yarn between 2 sections of trebles. So you have your treble section here, your treble V-stitch here. Between the 2 sections, I'm gonna go ahead and add my new color onto my hook and pull it through. And then I just like to attach my yarn to my work with just a chain 1 right there. Now what I'm gonna do 2 single crochets over this section. So to do that, I'll go into the section here, into the space, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm gonna do it then into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 2 single crochets between these 2 V stitches here. Over top of this section, I'm just gonna go ahead and chain 2. Going to skip the whole V trebles here, and then into the next space, I'm gonna add 2 more single crochet. So again, I'll be weaving those in as I go, going over them. So adding those 2 single crochet, chain 2 over top of these 2, in between the V-stitches, 2 single crochet. And we're just going to do that all the way around here, and you can see it kind of pulls your V-stitches together. So that's what we're going to do all the way around, and I'll meet you back. All right, so I've gone all the way around, and all I'm going to do here at the end is do my normal chain 2 after the 2 single crochet, and then slip stitch right into that first single crochet there, just to end the round. And then we're not going to chain 1 and fasten off, because I'm going to go ahead and use this entire color for the rest of the square. If you wanted to change colors for each border of the square, you definitely could with the same method we did before, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the same color. So from here, I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So that same single crochet we slip stitched and worked up out of, we're going to put a double crochet right into it. So I'll yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a double crochet. Now in the next stitch here, my next single crochet that we have, I'm going to do 2 double crochet in that one as well. So that's 1, and again, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So 2 double crochets in that one, 2 double crochets in this one, because we are counting that chain 3 as our first double crochet. Then we have our chain space that we made. So over the chain space, I'm going to do 2 double crochet over the chain space like this, right over top of the whole thing. And then I have my 2 single crochets again. And you can see the single crochet, the stitches right here, if you kind of pull back, because you may have covered it when you were working over the chain. So that's a single and that's a single there. In those 2 stitches, we're actually going to do half double crochets in them, just 1 each. So 1 half double, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. In the next single crochet, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now we have a chain space again. So in the chain space, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 2 single crochet. So over the whole chain space here, that's 1 and 2. This is now the middle of this side of our square. So think of the 2 double as your corner, then your 2 double over the chain, 1 half double, 1 half double, 1 single, 1 single. Now we're going to go back up the other way. So it'll be double double, 2 double over the chain, and so on and so forth. All right, so I'm going to do a half double in this single crochet, half double in the next one, 2 double over the chain. And then we'll arrive back at a corner and we'll do 2 double crochet in each of these single crochets. So 1, 2, and a 1, 2. There's my hair everywhere. All right, wouldn't be a crochet project without your hair in it. So again, now we're starting to square off. You can see we're turning our round project into a square project. So for that, we need 4 equal sides. So one side is going to be 2 double, 2 double, 2 double over the chain space, 1 half, 1 half, 2 singles, 1 half, 1 half, 2 doubles over the chain space, and back to our corner where we have 2 double, 2 double. So we're just going to repeat that pattern. So again, you have your 2 doubles over the chain space. We'll do 2 double crochets. Then in each of these singles, 1 half double crochet. Over the chain space, 2 singles. And then back up. So a half double in each of these single crochets. 2 double over the chain space. And now we're back to our corner again, where we'll do 2 double, 2 double. And I'll meet you back as you just continue to repeat that method around. All right, so I'm doing my last 2 double crochet over my last chain space while I come up to the first corner I made, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 just to finalize that round, like so. All right, and you can see we are becoming one with the square. So there's our little square so far. And then for the last round, we're going to go ahead and make it even more square. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up 3 to count as my first double crochet. And then in the next stitch here, this one right here, I'm going to work 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to work 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, Now, if you prefer a less gappy look, you could always just chain 2 if you want, but I'm gonna go ahead and chain 3 just to give a more pointed square look. And then I'm gonna do 2 more double crochets all in the same spot there. So again, all in the same stitch, we're gonna do, we chained up, and then the next stitch we did 2 double, chain 3, 2 double, and that is now our corner right here. Not this one, that's actually the last stitch of this row, but we just have to start there. So our corner right here, and we're gonna start one side of the square. So we have our corner, and then what I'm gonna do is double crochet in this next stitch. So 1 right there, and then I'm going to work half double crochets in the next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And now we're back to our corner. So what we're going to do is in this space here, I'm going to put 2 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, or 2 if you were preferring, and then 2 more double crochets on the same spot to start our next row of the square, our next side, if you will. So just laying that out for you here. We chained up 3. In the next stitch, we did 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. In the next stitch, a double crochet. In the next 11 half double crochets, then a double crochet, and then our corner again. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna work that same pattern back this way, and then this way. Now we have our corner, double crochet, 11 half double, double crochet, corner again. When you get to this corner, you'll do your corner, double crochet, 11 half double crochet. You do not need to put the last double crochet because we started off with it. So we're gonna slip stitch that when we come back around, and I'll show you that when we get there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and work my last half double crochet, my 11th one. And then again, we don't do the last double of this round because we already started with it. So I'll just go ahead and slip stitch in here to finish off that round, like so, and then chain 1, cut your working yarn, and there you have it. There's our little daisy square all finished. Like I said, you can always choose to chain less or more in your corners to give a more pointed or less pointed look. I chain 3 and I find it, for me, it tends to be a good amount, but it's all up to you. There's our square, all done.